then about 45 minutes later, we started to hear the noises outside my home, and my stomach sunk, and I thought, it's me. And then it's just, we don't know what's going to, I mean, the uncertainty of that was what was the fear. Like, are they coming with guns? Are they going to attack my house? I'm in here with my kid, I'm trying to put him to bed. And so it was, that was the scariest moment, just not knowing what was going to happen.
Joining us now, Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. Madam Secretary, you've been one of the sort of clearest and most fact-based witnesses to the attacks on democracy, really since the election. And I wonder how seeing this other side of your experience of holding up democracy in your state in terms of the terror that was eked out against you and your family felt for you today.
It was tough. It was tough. It was tough hearing that audio again. It was tough seeing the video. And it was tough knowing that it's not over, that this is, you could watch this hearing saying, oh, this has happened. This was about a past election, but it's not. This is a live battle that we're in the midst of fighting. And so it's that uncertainty that I talked about is still there. That anxiety still exists. And I don't know yet when we will be out of this moment, but we certainly heard the depths of which many of us have been, dealing with challenges over the last few years and how far it's gone.
When I see, sitting in my chair, right, we cover the epidemic of gun violence in the United States of America, including mass shootings, and we cover the heinous frequency with which violence is threatened. Do you ever think it's not worth it?
No, I don't. I signed up for this, and as you heard from Shay's testimony today, the work of election officials, we're proud to do this work, and we know that all that stands in between us and losing our democracy are people. That's what we heard today, that if we give up, then those trying to dismantle democracy truly win. But if we multiply and if we grow in our strength, then they're defeated. And that's really what it feels like in this moment. Yes, it's challenging. But as the truth becomes known and as the challenges become clear, if people respond by joining us, by standing up for democracy, by signing up to be poll workers, we actually become stronger as a country, as a democracy. And I believe that is how we emerge out of this moment with a healthier, more robust democracy than before, by people standing up and not walking away, not giving up.
One of the parts of Donald Trump's effort to overthrow the government he ostensibly led was the fake electors conspiracy. I don't like calling it a scheme. It seems to minimize it. But he was involved, and again, in a knowingly illegal, knowingly fraudulent effort to send alternate slates. That took place in your state. Talk about, in your view, the significance of that evidence and testimony today.
It was clearly what was a significant piece of this effort. When this was the threats were real, the challenges, the false affidavits and everything else that circulated, the sham legislative hearings, all of that was real. The efforts to block the certification of our election results, but it was all about being able to submit an alternate slate of electors, people who also actually physically showed up outside our state capitol building the day we were inside certifying the actual slate of electors. And that, of course, all then culminated in what we as a nation witnessed in our capital on January 6th. But clearly, a key part of a nationally coordinated effort to overturn the results of a presidential election was submitting several slates of false electors from a number of battleground states like Michigan and getting then Vice President Pence or someone else to accept them as official.
And in your view, do you think enough evidence exists for Donald Trump to be under criminal investigation for his conduct?
Yeah, I think clearly when you have a candidate for office, not to mention a sitting president, calling a state's chief election officer saying, find me votes that don't exist. And I know there's a criminal investigation ongoing. There has to be accountability for that, because we cannot operate as a democracy if that becomes in any way an acceptable thing for anyone to do without and to escape out of without getting any culpability. Because again, all of this is about not just ensuring we as a country know the truth about what we went through in 2020, but how do we avoid it from happening again next time, potentially successfully? It's by seeking a criminal culpability for those at every level who tried to nullify the will of millions of Americans to serve a political purpose.